Hi all, and welcome back. It's been a while since I talked about Eternal Strands, but I figured, since they've dropped a bunch of patches and we're now almost 6 months from release, it's a good time to look at what's actually changed. Really quick, for those who aren't sure, Eternal Strands is a third-person action-adventure set in a fully physics-driven sandbox. You play as Brynn, a weaver who can manipulate magic to build, climb, and fight giant creatures in a world where even the smallest object follows the same physics rules. The gameplay loop is pretty straightforward. Kill giant monsters, use their drops to craft better gear, and get strong enough to continue the story. The whole thing is about mixing traversal, combat, and environmental manipulation. 6 months after launch, Eternal Strands has changed in a bunch of important ways. The developers focused mostly on improving movement, combat responsiveness, quality of life, and stability while adding some new content along the way. One of the biggest complaints early on was the slippery movement. That's now been adjusted. Brynn accelerates and changes direction faster, which really reduces that skating feeling from launch. And honestly, if I don't want to skate in real life, I definitely don't want to do it here. So I'm glad this got improved. Just to be clear though, it's still not perfect, but it does feel a lot better. Combat also got more responsive. Enemy hit reactions are quicker, parrying is more precise, and enemies now flinch in the direction you hit them. It makes everything feel more connected. Controller rumble was also added, which helps give you a better sense of what's happening. Overall, you just get more feedback, and that makes you feel more in control. One of the most annoying things was the fall penalty. You do tons of climbing and jumping, and because everything is physics-driven, you fall a lot. Now that penalty is gone. If you fall, you just respawn close to where you dropped, and you keep your loot. This makes experimenting with traversal abilities like ice bridges or kinetic blasts actually fun and not something you avoid just to play safe. Inventory management was improved too. Brynn's safe pouch and base inventory both got more slots. You can also see your total resources while looting or sorting your pouch now. This is such a good change because now you can just pick up everything without needing to think about whether you'll regret it later. Weapon and armor tooltips now show bonus power levels, and you can preview stat changes directly in the menu. Just small stuff that makes gear management easier. Combat flow also got a few upgrades. Bow abilities now work inside the magic casting stance, and the new celestial scope power can now target all limbs of an epic. They also added auto-saving when you pick up loot, and a new abandoned expedition option to protect your progress in case of crashes. There's now a story mode too, an easier difficulty for players who just want to explore the world without worrying too much about combat. On the content side, the biggest addition was the Starlight Cape map. This new area adds a flying epic called the Arc of the Nova, a new minion enemy, a dying system to customize armor colors, and the Umbral armor set. They also added 4 new crafting resources and some extra weapons like the Stargazer two-hander, sword and shield, and bow. Some collaborations were included too. They worked with Suda51 and Tadayuki no Maru from Grasshopper Manufacture to add new cosmetics and weaponry skins. These are hidden behind recipes you'll need to find across the maps. Quality of life features have been steadily added with patches. You've got more detailed tutorials now, codex tracking, a loadout overview, visible stat gauges, color-coded resource pickups, better quest tracking, and an option to hide helmets at base while still showing them in the field. It's a lot of small things, but together they really help. Graphics also got some upgrades. DLSS 4, XSS 2, and FSR 3 are all supported now, and Steam Deck settings were tweaked to improve performance. They fixed a lot of bugs along the way too. Some of the bigger ones include memory leaks, quest blockers, hitbox issues with epics, performance drops in Starlight Cape, and visual bugs in VFX, UI, and subtitles. There were also fixes for control scheme problems and key rebinding on PC. The loot penalty from out-of-bounds falls was also removed. Yeah, they really wanted to make sure that's gone. They also tweaked other systems to cut down on frustration, like improving mid-air hits with kinetic weapons and adding automatic saving when you grab resources. So, 6 months later, Eternal Strands is still a physics-driven sandbox with giant monsters, climbing, and magic-based traversal. But now it's a lot more stable, the movement feels better, the combat gives you more feedback, and it's just a bit more focused on the fun parts. That's it! If you like videos where I check back on games a few months after launch, go ahead and like and subscribe. I've got a bunch of these on the channel. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.